From the stars came the will to shape fate, hurling this world toward ruin.
Okay, first of all, in 2022, we'll get another Total War Warhammer game, taking you all back to the realm of chaos. It's gonna be 17th of February now. What you'll need to know about the new game, in case you are familiar with this series, is Warhammer 3 comes with 6 different factions and there's a bigger map to boot. In case you are new to the game though, this is a turn-based real-time strategy tactics, and this is how it looks like.
Sentinel of the Great Bastion!
That initial frontal assault should target the sentries on the bridge. We must descend on them quickly and wipe them out. But then we withdraw.
Guys, we have Expeditions Rome actually already released and available for PCs, one specifically focused on tactics and strategy elements through the heights of the Roman Empire. It's an interesting game, I would say, but that's it. It doesn't do much in the way of graphics, but pretty history accurate. I've actually been led to believe. Check it out, you can have hands on this one right now for about 35 bucks.
I need to take care of their catapults, or my men will not be able to advance.
They're here! The enemy is here!
Marlem, we blew our cover. Let's take those catapults apart and get out of here!
The more of their artillery you can disable, the easier it will be for our legions to advance once we launch the main assault.
Looks like there's only 1 or 2 catapults still able to shoot. The other team did their job well.
You know what would be great right now? Some artillery support of our own.
There it is. The biggest death trap in all history. And the Duke's headed into its jaws.
We have Dune Spice Wars, which was also announced at the Game Awards with no gameplay, no nothing but a cinematic teaser through which we've actually later on learned will turn out to be a real-time strategy game, and the later news that it will actually go through early access very soon. As a single-player game initially, then multiplayer at its full. Check it out. Dune Spice Wars is actually scheduled to come out to PCs later this year.
Your enemy was overwhelming.
You'll not be irrelevant.
Yet you rolled with him.
We Fremen have a saying. God created Arrakis to train the faithful.
Arrakis!
To hold Arrakis. You're faced with
Arrakis
unique
is our enemy.
This is my future.
This is my honor.
This is my vengeance. This is my doom.
No other theater in World War II that brings this variety. You have beautiful hills and mountains of Italy, the beaches of Italy, all the way to the sands and deserts of North Africa.
Now, if you're a fan of Company of Heroes games, this year we're also getting another entry set within World War II, and not just the era is what's new about this game. There is the added pause system now in campaign mode, there's some new destruction systems and better visuals, as you can see, and into the Italian front. Check it out. Company of Heroes 3 is coming in late 2022 and into PCs via Steam.
Damage and eventually collapses. It can kill squads nearby with the rubble that's falling. You can also take cover in the rubble or the ruins of certain buildings.
Everything we do in Company of Heroes has to involve gameplay. So even the visuals have to have gameplay behind them. Our destruction has always had gameplay. And so with a new theater, that's the first thing we have to look at. And so with Mediterranean, you start in North Africa and you have these open deserts. Well, of course, what gameplay is that going to bring? First of all, it's going to bring big tank battles where you're flanking from miles away, trying to get behind the enemy. We have lots more gameplay features we're going to be sharing specific to North Africa. But then you go to Italy. Italy is all about mountainous terrain and choke points and valleys and setting up, bottlenecks. And so it's a much different game.
We have War Now, which is actually a tactical turn-based strategy game revolving around the premise of World War III, what's touted as a historically accurate game, lol, in which you controlled military tanks and artillery. Honestly, it's actually one of the ones I'm personally looking forward to. This game's releasing today, by the way, and into PCs only through Steam.
Frequently to towns that have rare and more affordable goods. These merchants are the only way to get wealth in the game.
Manor Lords is another upcoming real-time strategy title, throughout this year touted as a historically focused strategy game, as you can see, based in medieval times with some really large-scale battles is what they said, and you get the resource management, city building stuff per usual, and what I've gathered to be a fine-tuned game by the looks of it. Check it out, this one's, if we're actually lucky, will receive its early access phase in about a month from now.
Every so often, the king gives out valuable rewards to the most influential lords on the Manor Lords. Has been redesigned after some community feedback. It is now divided into 3 unit categories. First type of recruits are the peasant militia. You can call to arms the peasants from your villages. They grab whatever improvised weapons they have and join the fight. This will hit your economy, and you'll need at least a couple of villages to form an army. If you want better militia, you must train them at the training camp or the archery range.
So we have come to the conclusion that we want to release the game into early access, simply because there's just so much things we want to do with this game.
Moving on, there's Songs of Conquest, combining strategy, adventure, and RPG elements, where you won't only have to fight, but learn skills and magics and make an army, build your own kingdom, and conquer some lands then. Here you can also go solo or join forces with your friends through various multiplayer modes and a very unique soundtrack system, like you can actually manage your music for basically anything in-game. Check it out, this one's coming around summer this year and into PCs only.
To not invite more users and talk about what we are doing and the vision for the game, really.
Now, I want to make it perfectly clear that early access for us means a pretty solid product. We will release the early access title with all 4 factions as planned, multiplayer, both local and online, and of course campaigns, as we already have communicated. So, in terms of what the difference is from a fully fledged 1.0 release, I'd say is that we believe there's a lot of balancing to be done. We believe that there's a lot of polish that we need to do for the game before we really feel that it's truly complete. And I think
in every age, there is a cause worth fighting for. But in the future, the greatest threat to our survival will not be men at all.
The Starship Troopers series is about to see itself a new entry this year. That's March 31st, going by Starship Troopers Terrain Command. And this time is a real-time strategy revolving around mining. There's gonna be tons of challenges actually, the kind of game that will keep you sitting for hours, if not days. Now check it out, this is actually how the game looks like.
Slytherin takes you to the front lines of the next frontier. Starship Troopers, Terran Command.
Sovereign is a new take on the grand strategy genre, presenting the world as a living miniature in real time. Political intrigue, economic growth, religious developments, and of course, the maneuvering of armies, all unfolding in front of you in beautiful detail.
To be honest, the only strategy game I'm actually waiting for right now. Knights of Honor 2 Sovereign announced actually 2 years ago since today. The series itself also going back to almost 18 years ago, one of the most enjoyable real-time and map-controlled strategy games I've ever had hands on. Unfortunately though, news revolving around the new entry has been quiet for quite a while actually since its announcement, but the good news is the game is actually well and in development, there's nothing to worry about. Hopefully we'll have hands on this game even later this year is what we've actually heard. Check this out.
The Royal Court is critical to your success and can grow and learn new skills as they carry out your orders. Combat can happen in the world map, with the outcome of battles determined by the strength of your forces and the specific skills of your leaders. Or you can take direct control and jump right into the action, commanding your units in RTS-style battles. You decide which engagements warrant your personal attention, where your prowess can make the difference between victory and defeat.
A couple of months back, we also came across Man of War's sequel, Back to the World War II, simply going by Man of War 2. This time around, letting you play as either West or the Soviets in single-player co-op and all the way up to 5 folks at a time. This sequel also comes our way later this year and into the PCs with new units, of course, campaigns and new locations to go with. Check it out. We have Falling Frontier, set to release this summer on the PCs through Steam and GOG, for which we just received the gameplay trailer for about 12 minutes to be specific after months of speculations. Well, check it out, and if you are into sci-fi strategy games, although this is a single-player game, but actually one of the really good ones, that's going to be coming out this year. Take a look.
I remember the guide stone, the diamond shoals, the sisters of Balcora spinning 100 billion stars, the song of the core,
Last but not least, real-time strategy fans, we have Homeworld 3. Announced no more than a month ago with the Game Awards, actually one of the surprise announcements after years of anticipation. So if you're an old school player like me and grew up playing games such as StarCraft, this might just be the game that you're looking for. Not to forget, you can actually play this game online co-op, but there's more, actually a lot more. Check it out. This game releases sometime around November to December this year.
Was it so long ago? No, not so long. But not long enough.